In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
Well, let's just kick it off, right? It's Miller time.
Oh,
What?
I don't have a Miller. I'm fluent in sarcasm, is what I am.
That looks delicious. Is that a chameleon or a
It's
gecko?
yeah, it's a picture. It's actually neither.
He's holding up a can with a lizard on it. I'm drinking Miller Lite, as always, garage water. And you guys are listening to the premier automotive podcast in the world.
Wow,
At
the
least
world.
I care about. This
It's in
is
our
a
world.
welcome to it. Another pointless automotive podcast, APA podcast. Thank
Mhm.
you again, my friends, for joining
Thank
us.
you, friends.
I am joined by the ever-present, ever-lovely Frank.
Ever
Harrington
present,
of the fourth
the
degree.
ominous, yeah, the
Yes.
omnipresent. Yes, hello. How are you? How's the Miller this time of year? Is it in season?
Beautiful. It tastes just like it always does. Water with a hint of beer.
A hint of adjunct. Yes.
Beerish flavorings.
Mhm.
But yeah, it just hits the spot every time. Guys, it's been a while since we've kind of it's been multiple months since we went through our fleet statuses and updated on you guys on what the project statuses are, what we're trying to do. Do we have an end game? Are we just going to get buried alive in our car hoards? Probably yes to all that. But
by the way, real quick on that same front, I don't know if you've listened recently, but shout out to the homies at DWA. They mentioned, I guess you had asked them a question on their last podcast, and they answered it thinking that Auto Obsessive Garage was me, and then Art came in and corrected it, and then hilarity ensued. And all I know is the takeaway was, and apparently this is, and I like getting some feedback, and I like hearing other people's like viewpoint on you and I. Which is weird when I say that because it makes it sound like we're a couple. We are in the podcast game.
Like a marriage counselor is talking about this, but yeah.
Yes. The throuple is you, me, and the listeners. But what was funny was they're like, well, yeah, the differences was like Chadwick like wrenches on stuff and he works on stuff and he buys stuff and he like fixes them up and he flips it, and Frank just has shit. And I was like, I was like, I can't argue with that. Like,
someone's been listening to our PCP segment.
That's very canonical. Like that actually tracks. So shout out to those friends. We need to mail them some sort of exotic. Actually, looked up horse meat jerky to mail them for them to eat. Yeah. Apparently, it's popular in Kazakhstan. However, yes, this is going to be like the ultimate PCP episode because we're not going to do PCP. We're not going to do my wife. We are going to talk about our various fleets and
what we're doing, what we're moving around for metal. And I think it'd be a little fun thing just to keep the listeners in tune because we mentioned our cars, like, it's kind of random. It's sporadic. We mentioned
State of the Union.
Yeah. And you're like, does he still have that car? Has that thing, what's wrong with that car? So dude, I got my list. I got my updates in my head as best I can. Did you want to buzz through your current fleet, Frank?
Sure.
Yeah, just like bring us up to speed on what you currently have. And I want to hear it. I'm interested because I don't even know. I don't even know where your mind's at now.
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah. My mind is, where is my mind? As was that the Pixies? Yeah. Once said.
They only said it once.
Only, yeah.
Moment in time.
Yeah. Okay, what is the bullet in my header? So the way I can most easily figure this out is chronological order. That's how I always figure this out, and I will still skip one and be like, oh god, I forgot about that. So 1941 Chevrolet pickup truck.
Yes.
Bro, I can't get kids to quit stealing bits and pieces off of it. This is why I need to sell it.
It's struck
the
again.
High school kids, they've taken liberty. So I talked about this a while ago. Some miscreants, the Utes, stole the fuel cap.
Yeah,
annoying, disappointing. Not a big deal. Bought another one. It was like $5. Put another one on. Great. I have no clue how long it was missing. This is how much I need to sell this truck because it could have been multiple weeks and I didn't even notice. Got a replacement. It lasted several days, disappeared again. At this point, and I noticed it was like hours before a rainstorm. So me and the kid, I loaded up. Let's go to the parts store. Nobody had one. And I was like, let me get a locking one.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had a locking one or a non-locking one in stock anymore. Apparently, I bought the only 1935 to 1976 fuel cap for a GM product. So okay, fine. Eventually ordered a locking one, got it. Or no, I ordered what in the meantime, I ordered a locking one that was gonna take like 5 days to get it. I just put a nitrate glove over the fuel filler because it was gonna rain. Great.
Yeah. That's
Guess what? Glove disappeared. You know, someone fell in glove with it. That's fine. Whatever.
Aww.
I put a locking cap on it. It looks stupid because it's like Bakelite. It's like a black plastic and it's got a key. It looks really dumb, but it works. It's still there. It's been there for 3 weeks now. Great.
Nice. Yeah.
All of this is to say, I still desperately need to sell that truck. I've had it on Facebook Marketplace asking 17.5, which is too much.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I both know that's what Facebook Marketplace has become. You
Yeah.
put stuff up there for too much, hope somebody offers you something dog shit in trade. That's the end of it. So I have it there. I'm going to run it either. I haven't decided. I might run it on Bring a Trailer. I might run it on Hennings. Because it's too, I think it's, I don't want to say too rough for Bring a Trailer because you can sell dog shit there. But
you can.
It's a little roasty. Like I think it'll get roasted in the comments and I can defend it. I can roll those punches. But long story short, need to sell. Anything north of 10, I think, is the real money on it. So that's that. Okay. Barracuda is the Barracuda, 1965 Plymouth Barracuda.
She ain't going nowhere.
Going nowhere. I texted my homie who's had it as a backroom project for him in his shop 5 weeks ago.
Like the casting couch?
Basically,
he does the casting couch, right? The backroom casting couch as well.
Yes, and that's why I reached out to him because I was concerned he was going to convert my Barracuda into like a retro futuristic bang bus, because it's got the big bubble back window, which you can do some like weird dilation stuff, both with the people inside the bang bus or the Bangacuda, if you will, and the bubble back window. You know, it's got some lens implications. He was like, "Yes, it's close. I'm close because I'm inside the bang bus." And there's a couple of parts I need to get. So there's some trim pieces I haven't ordered them yet. I need to order them. Allegedly, we're close, which means 2 years from now I'll get it home. Next spot here is going to be the 1982. I've got several 1982 Porsche 924s.
Too many.
Little green car.
Yeah.
I love it. I've talked about it. I did get the stupid smog box EGR counter in it. I tried to go take pictures of it near the stars. I failed. I've taken some photos of it. I've submitted it to Cars and Bids. They begrudgingly accepted it to run it because it's a 924 with a salvage title. Like, nobody should sell this car.
Yeah.
But if anyone can sell it for more than a ham sandwich, it's me. Listeners, I will let y'all know when it's live and you can bid on it, and because it's going to sell for like $5,000. It's the joy of ownership is far greater than $5,000. I'm very tempted to keep it, but I can't. I just can't. Other 1982 924s, one behind me. I need to just push it into a ditch.
Me too.
It's very cool. It's still there. It's rotting on the vine behind me. It's been back behind me for what, a year?
Ever since, yeah.
And yes, I have the odometer here. Hold on, I got it right here.
Good place for it on your desk.
It's right here. And I got to put it in. I've changed the gears out. I've had no time to put it back in. All of the things. So this is going to go back in. Watch the needle dance. Dance, needle dance. And yeah, so that's a thing. And then we will see. I've got a sneaking suspicion it's still the amount of fuckery in it is going to be too much for me to get it onto any reasonable online marketplace. Terrible ones will take it. I don't want to run it on a terrible one. So,
Yeah.
Sorry, P car market, you're not getting this car. Who knows? If it's boned, I might lose several $1,000s on it. Like I can sell it for like 5.
Yeah.
And someone will take a flyer on it and
I mean,
fix it up.
sometimes there's a scenario, right? Like you have to like get out, choose when to get out because you're gonna get boned, but you'll get more boned if you continue to try to funnel cash into something that just isn't meant to be.
That's what I've been doing. But every time I funnel cash, I'm like, yay, I took care of the one issue, and then 4 more crop up. It's the automotive project Hydra.
Yeah,
so
vicious cycle for sure.
It is. It's still super cool.
Is it?
It is. It's the world's coolest paperweight. So
yeah.
Okay. The next in line, 1984 Celica Supra, the one that's been hanging out at Car Donation at their place. Paint is now fully done. So all the trim is done.
Very cool.
The billboard decal, the stuff I talked on Project Car Progress last week-ish is done and ready to go. I've submitted it to Cars and Bids. I've done a photo shoot. There's almost there's really nothing left. There's plenty left for the next guy to tackle, but not even that much. It would be like I wouldn't touch the dashboard. I would leave the cracked dash. I would leave the dash mat on it, call it a day. If you really want to sort out the stereo, one speaker works, the other ones don't. It could just be bad potentiometers in the OEM stereo, some dust and corrosion in there. It sat for a long time. You can do that. I'd replace the AC compressor, blow some Freon into it, see what happens. I would take care of the rear inner quarter panel trim panels that have like the vinyl on the tops are all cooked.
That's right. Yep.
And split. That's it. Otherwise, I would just put a metric shit ton of miles on it. So I've submitted it. I'm going to run it no reserve. I think I'm in the car roughly 10. Maybe 10.5.
Which is nothing for the condition and the fact that it's got fresh paint.
Fresh paint, fresh tires. The clutch was done by the past owner. It's got really good records. It's rust free. Timing belt was done at 50-something thousand miles, but by age, it's well over, but non-interference motor. So, roll the dice as you wish. It just runs really well. It presents really well. I don't know. If I was a gambling man, which I'm not, I think it pulls 12. But it could shoot the moon. Like it could, somebody
never know,
because all of these cars rotted out.
Oh, you can't find it. The paint, especially like the fact that you've already done the respray, because there's no original paint Supras from that age unless it's like a 5,000 mile one that's been in a garage. Garage car, and which they're out there, but they're pulling mid-20s. Dude, but all the mechanicals are fucking bonked because like
under 100,000 miles,
every gas gets screwed. It's gonna leak. It's gonna not run. Yeah,
and I don't know that mine won't do that tomorrow, but I put 800 hard fucking miles on this car.
Yeah, hard fucking.
And yeah, hell yeah. And it's answered the bell every time.
Nice.
It does have a fairly, and this is something we're gonna have to disclose. If it sits for more than 24 hours, pretty good amount of smoke on startup.
Okay.
Right? Which is fine. And actually, honestly, if you run it hard, park it for like a couple of hours, you'll get a little bit of puff on startup.
Okay.
And then I think it's sat for 20 years. So valve guide seals are hyper dry and could stand to be replaced. I think that's what it is because it runs great. It passes smog. It's only for the first 30 seconds of operation do you get any smoke.
Yeah, that's usually those valve seals for sure. Yeah.
So it's probably valve guide seals. I need to disclose that. So might that scare some people off? Maybe not. I don't know. But it's a little bit of a find another one syndrome there. Exactly. Next in chronological order, 1987 Honda Accord LXI. Nothing has happened. It's been sitting. I need to get out from under a couple of Porsches and a Supra before I dare drag that home to start turning wrenches on it. I the more I had time to think about it, because just for those not initiated, it was donated to Car Donation with a bad head gasket. The original owner, old ass man, ran it out of coolant, blew the head gasket. It then got donated. They paid a fly-by-night shop to do the head gasket. They did it. It ran well. They took it to smog. It passed smog. During that process, it was pissing oil all over itself. They fucked something up, and it was just dumping oil.
Probably
They
just a
took it back
gasket
to them.
slap. Let's be honest. They didn't plane the head
Yeah.
or the block.
So it went back to them. They corrected their error. It came back to Car Donation. They sold it to some junkie. The junkie decided he never even picked it up. He went to go register it. He put it in his name, but decided he ran out of cash. So he couldn't fulfill the purchase of it. So he handed the paperwork back. I ended up, they were then going to resell it. And then they kept throwing intermittent EFI, PGMFI, programmable fuel injection light. And then because of all the junkie taking his time to unwind the deal, the smog expired. They went to resmog it. It's blowing 10x what it should on CO. And it's throwing this intermittent programming fuel injection light. They couldn't get rid of it. They were going to send it to the wrecker. I bought it for $1,000 as it sits. It had passed smog after the head gasket, and then they fixed the oil leak and it failed smog. So I've got a sneaking suspicion. Just something is unplugged. It was a fly-by-night shitty repair shop. Maybe. They did a questionable head gasket job. There's a lot of bits and pieces that you unplug and plug. Yeah. That early fuel injection system is based purely on map. It's a map sensor. It's metered off the map sensor. Maybe the map sensor's unplugged. Maybe the O2 sensors. I don't know.
Bad map sensor. Could be a lot of things, right?
Could be a lot of things. Map sensor's $200.
That's a pain in the dick.
Maybe they point. Here's the thing though. Any of the stuff where I'm like, oh well, maybe the cat got glycol poisoned by the blown head gasket. It passed smog after the head gasket was done. So I don't know. It'll be a fun diagnostic project for $1,000. Yeah, deeply pre-OBD, a decade pre-OBD. So we'll see. Next in line, and I've got like 4 minutes to wrap this up. Next in line is the 91 Galant VR4 that is coming to an auction, a no reserve auction in under 2 weeks. That's going live on Cars and Bids.
Holy shit, dude.
June 13th. Doug did a review video with it 18 months ago.
So crazy.
Honestly, it was January. It was like late January of 23. And he was like, bro, I know you're going to sell this car, so I'm just going to sit on it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to sell it. But like one day you'll run out of content and you'll push the video and it'll be great. I'm doing this for funsies. Like I don't, you push it live when you want. And then he smoked me out because I'm finally in a position to sell it. So it's going to go live, no reserve. We will see what happens. That's another one where my gut tells me it's worth 12, but I've been telling myself that since the peak of the market. So maybe it'll be back at that a little bit. Maybe it'll be closer to 10.
Still.
We'll see.
Still.
Yeah, it's a desirable car. They do not transact. All of them are wrecked. So we will see. This will be fun. 91 Subaru Sandbar. It's still a photo booth. I need to change the oil on it, do some basic maintenance. We will see. That's a thing. What is next in line? Chronologically, we have the 2001 Suburban. It's still my tow rig. If somebody, anytime I take it out, people corner me on that thing.
Yeah.
People love it. It's a black over gray Z71 01 Suburban. People really love it. It actually drives really well. I need to fix the ABS control computer, the brain box for it.
Oh, yeah.
Currently, I don't have ABS, but it's okay. Yeah, the solders go out in those control units and build Kelsey Hayes units, and I need to take it out, either refloat the solders myself or get a rebuilt one for $200 and swap it.
Yep.
What is next in line? That's going to be the S2000. I just need to drive it. I need to drive it more.
Yeah.
Good news. It's 80 something degrees today. I'm in California. Top down, screaming out money, anything. I just need to put miles on it. That's all that comes down to. The daily driver, the Lexus, due for an oil change. I'm still, I'm just blasting it with miles. It just turned 170,000 miles.
Damn.
So I put about 5,500 miles on it since I bought it. And it doesn't care. This is the first piece of maintenance I've ever going to do on it is the oil change. Because it just had an oil change before I got donated. That's I think I've touched them all. I'm gonna realize in 20 minutes when you're done with your list, like, oh God, I think
you hit 9 or 10. Does that sound about right?
Oh God, it should be 11. What am I missing?
Oh God.
Oh God.
My count could be off too. I'm completely horrible.
Yeah. The Honda, the C70 over here. I need to put tires on it. I have the tires. They're in this pile of garbage over here. That's all I got. How about you?
Oh, that's quite the list you got to get through, my friend. I'm not envious. I only have 9 vehicles currently, which I'm in the single digit land, so I'm doing good. I'm doing
amateur hour.
First off, yeah, dude. I started the year off with 16 or whatever it was last year. But no, dailies, there's really nothing to cite about those. I have a 08 Acura TSX, which with a 6-speed manual, which is absolutely lovely. It's a good blend of engagement and reliability and comfort for daily driving. A blend
that doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist. It looks good. You've seen the car.
I mean, Integra Type S, if you want to pay $10K.
Yeah, dude, right. But yeah, the manuals are hard to get on the TSXs, and they do fetch quite a premium. But you've seen the car; it's a good looking car.
Good.
Interior is like minty mint. It's super comfortable. Good 6-speed manual. And then we have the GX 470. Which is a 2007.
Good car.
So yeah, that is our combo of cars we probably drive the most. My wife has a Volt from work for free. So we commute in that sometimes, but our 2 cars are the Acura and the Lexus, and you can't pick. Those are probably 2 like fantastic cars from the exact same period. Just all arounders, just really good. Wild stuff, but that's just daily. So really nothing there. Did an oil change on the Lexus. I mean, what are you going to say?
Yeah, exactly. The Lexus is currently being a Lexus.
Just doing its GX thing. So we'll go in order of probably like when I'm going to get rid of stuff. So this 95 Infiniti G20T, 1 owner, manual. These things just don't exist. Car. Dude, yeah. I shot the review, and I'll talk about that in PCP later on. But wow. Dude, the acceleration's really not there. It's 140 horsepower SR20DE engine, but once you get it moving, this thing is so composed for 30-year-old original suspension components. Double wishbone in the front.
That's the thing. The parts are right.
It's stupid. It's stupidly good. And I even demonstrated, like, you can input more steering, take steering out mid-corner, which you should never do. That's like driver 101 failure.
You mean what I do every time I drive?
Yeah, while you trail brake. But like you could do that with this car, and it just doesn't get unsettled. It's like, dude, I want you to drive it because like I get why the magazines were throwing this against very serious sports cars at the time, because they sorted this chassis and suspension, and I can't imagine if I've
done that ad before, right? I'm pretty confident I've read you this one, and you nailed it instantly.
Yeah, exactly. But if you like threw a good coilover suspension on here, some sway bars, end links, and just tightened up all the bushings, I don't know what the hell else would hang with this thing in the corners, just the way it feels, man. So the plan for it, obviously,
maybe the car next to it would.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely now, and that does have the suspension updated, but and a couple hundred lbs less. But it's going on Cars and Bids. Just got accepted today.
Wow.
So you imaged the car. I think the photos look awesome. It looks right in black. It looks so good in black.
Black is funny because some cars, they don't, like, you lose all of the texture and the detail.
Yep.
But that car specifically really does it pop. It just shines in black.
It's just, I think it's because it's a junior exec car. I think that kind of
it should wear a tuxedo.
Just the right amount of chrome too, not too much, not too little. It's It looks fucking good. It looks sharp. Your photos were amazing as always. Thank you, man. I
Mhm.
think that's going to show very well. And like overall condition is pretty outrageous for a 181,000 mile Infinity.
Yeah.
But yeah, go find another one like we always say. So hopefully that goes. I'm really pumped that someone. I think there's going to be some people vying to get their hands on that
Yeah.
car. So I think it's going to be
Find
pretty
another one.
popular. I'm excited about the comments because these are the kind of cars that would really generate some good conversation.
Yeah. Well, hey, it worked with your Trooper, right?
Same deal, right? Like I haven't
Mhm.
seen one of these forever, Well,
Yep.
here you go. I
Yep.
took care of it for you. But
Boy, that's gonna be fun when the Eagle Summit shows up and we have start having the same conversation.
how
I
many
haven't seen one of
one-owner
these
cars am
forever.
I unloading? It's weird.
Yeah. AC
Uh,
delete, radio delete.
Yeah, so the other blue car behind me, the Nissan NX 2000, still in bodywork land. I've been working
Mhm.
on that guy for a little bit. The suspension is so dialed in, man. It's like it would be if I could hold on to some cars right now and I wasn't like doing the whole sell two houses buy a house thing. I would hold on to this car because I think it's going to be a really good rally weapon. Uh,
Yeah,
Honestly,
for
just
sure.
because the suspension's dialed in, coilovers, end links, sway bars, all the good stuff, and all the bushings are replaced. So it just handles. It's not annoyingly stiff. It's just perfectly dialed in. So
Yeah.
what a cool car. T-tops, everything. It's just got a lot of fun stuff going for it. So the plan for that, obviously, I'm going to have to let that go too as soon as I'm done. Super pumped for that review. But that'll go to a loving home, I'm sure.
Mhm.
After that, next on the chopping block is the Eagle Summit you just mentioned. So
Yeah, let's go.
free car is never free to finish, but got it for free on a listing by they wanted some money, but I cleaned out a garage really quick and got it for free. No keys, no history, parked in 2007, one owner, 205,000 miles. Doesn't
Yes.
even matter because it looks pristine
Yes.
actually. And when I'm done with
Yes.
it, it's going to look good. But
Mhm.
it is an interference engine, so I am not even going to just slap a battery when I get the key and crank it just to see, because that's when you fuck an engine, right?
Have you turned it over by like breaker bar or anything just to make
And
sure
I
it's unlocked?
haven't, and I don't think it's locked. But
It was
I
in a
will do that.
garage, right?
No, it's sitting outside.
No, but
It's
it was in a garage,
Oh
right?
yeah, it was in the garage. I don't know if the person was deceased in the car. I don't know.
Cool.
It's been a while.
It'd be better if they were deceased on the car, like on
Yeah,
the roof, like
their fluid outlined, but no, it's a cool car, 5-speed manual. Didn't even have a speaker for the radio, like not even a
Mhm.
speaker in the car, not even like I don't even see spots where
Yeah,
you might
radio
mount
delete, right?
speakers. Yeah, it's super.
So
It's just
sick.
cool as shit, man. And someone put some serious mileage on that, and I respect that. So that'll be a fun project actually to bring back. I bought all the maintenance items I need and tires, and I think I'm under like $400 or
So
500
sick.
bucks. So yeah, dude, gotta
Hell
get a
yes.
locksmith first to see what's going on there, but that's on the chopping block, and I probably won't. I'll probably keep it for a little bit just for fun.
Hell
Maybe I don't
yeah.
know. Probably a good Radwood car or something. I don't know,
That'd be whatever.
it'd be
Even if you
dope.
like, even if it's like not even an entry, just like
Bring it.
just go in the regular ass parking and there's like tailgate out of it, because that
Mhm.
like that's swing the sliding door open
Oh
and
fuck
just
yeah!
chill, just ball out. Yeah, hell yeah.
It's so cool, and there's so much space in that thing. It's so small looking, but when you sit in the back, I still have like over a foot of headspace. It's just
It's a lot. It's a lost design.
so the packaging, mwah.
Mhm.
And then we'll 4G63 it someday. But anyway, real quick, 94 Chevy S10 Blazer. I don't want to talk about it. I don't have a lift high enough to get the transmission. It's a pretty big transmission on that 4.3.
Yeah,
And I
it's
just didn't
like
want to.
a Mary transfer case on that, right?
Yeah, and I didn't want to drop all that on my chest. I like things being dropped on my chest, mostly shit,
Right.
but
Yeah.
not those kind of shits.
Sometimes you
Heavy
like cable.
transmission shits. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I outsourced that job, and all of a sudden, I don't know what the hell happened, man. Like, because that thing idled just fine, and many times I'd run it and let it run, and there was no issue.
Yeah,
I,
I was there for a couple of those.
I know.
Ran great.
I know, dude. Plugs, wires was all I was gonna do, and then I found out they slapped in a new distributor, cap and rotor, and I'm like, what?
100% chance they fucked up that
Already
distributor
fucked
job.
it up, right? And then it all of a sudden got diagnosed to the ECM, and then they started replacing with aftermarket ECM. I'm like, dude, we're already going down like diagnostic fails of the year, right? Like we do not jump to
Parts.
ECM.
Throwing parts.
I don't want to talk about it. Hopefully, I get that car back in my hands and I can fix it, because it is like a 70,000 mile S10 Blazer, last of the boxy,
2-door manual,
5-speed
4-door,
manual. Yep.
or sorry, 2-door, 4
yeah,
speed,
dude.
4-wheel drive, whatever. I can't talk, but you know what I mean.
Pain in the dick.
It's
dude.
the one you want.
It hurts my soul. Thank God I don't have the space to like work on it anyway right now. I don't have the time, so it's kind of working out okay because it's not a priority. But it pains me in my heart because I do want to bring that.
As long as they unfuck their shit on their dime and not your dime, then it's fine.
Yeah, I don't even know how this plays out. We'll have to figure that out because I'm gonna be doing some unfucking clearly.
Go with a sword.
Yeah, right.
Just be
Just
like, look,
fucking
I'm the guy with a sword.
yeah. I always have a sword on me, dude.
Well, yeah, well.
Hard to conceal carry, but you get what I'm saying. The other car in that other garage, I have
I had to picture you saying that with a visibly aroused. It's hard to conceal carry when you're walking around with something like
This is
this.
all me, baby. This is all me.
Yeah, impossible to conceal something like WMD like this.
It's a fucking claymore from like Braveheart, but
Exactly.
in my other mystery garage, I forget that I have full cars every once in a while.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
the 98 Dodge Neon ACR. I'm probably not gonna have time to get that car done before I have to move. It'll be just pulled along as is. It needs some love. That's gonna need a repaint. I did source the original like bubble wheels for that, which I fucking love those
Hey,
wheels.
I got a paint guy. I got you sorted out.
I'm actually gonna find out what his does he do body work though or just straight paint?
Yeah, he'll do body work too. Yeah, he's a straight up body shop. Guy's named Will. That's all I know. I have his phone number. I hand up keys. He disappears into the night. He returns a good car. That's all I know.
I don't know if the money's in it to get a quality. I'll see what the cheapest job he'll do on that. But it's a cool car. It's a 98 ACR, legit ACR. I looked up all the numbers on Chrysler's website, which you have to do because it doesn't say anywhere on that damn car. But yeah, it has the ACR package. Those are just cool because they were
It just
like
has the fog light delete, right?
fog light delete, bigger sway bars, different brakes. There's like all these little
Right.
hidden codes. But yeah, you got the 2-liter dual overhead cam because there was a 2-liter single overhead cam. It's wild. But good motor, dude. That 2-liter is 150 ponies, and it's a pretty light car. The handling is pretty dialed in. Like they went with beefy sway bars, so there's a little more like rear action. I think that would be
that's another recipe that doesn't exist anymore.
And it was like so capable,
cheap,
like on track, right?
Cheap, light, fun. Even if it's a shit box, no
you
options.
Know what, though?
Just let it rip.
I'll take a fucking Neon over a Dart any day of the week, right? Like so. I think the Neon, in retrospect, we actually kind of like endearingly reflect on that car.
Oh, it's easily the best domestic compact of its era, without question.
Yeah, no, yeah, and definitely from Dodge for sure, right?
Any domestic manufacturer, right, of that era.
The RTs are cool. I've always wanted like an RT too. They're way more available for sure. They're made a lot higher production numbers, but there's something about the ACR being the stripped down, like just
the special
I love
one.
it. I paid like $1,000 for it, sight unseen from like some other state.
In like Nevada or something,
I'm
right?
fucking stupid, dude. I'm so stupid.
Okay. Stupid dude dumb.
Stupid as fuck, dude. And then I have a shiny red 1990 Chevy Corvette ZR1 that is probably going to have a can of worms issues. It's got the secondary injectors at a minimum, and then it's leaking some oil. So I'm going to redo that whole motor. I'm sure it's super easy to work on those Lotus special engines. I bet it's actually it's probably not too hard. I don't know. I'll get in there, and it's accessible as fuck when you pop the hood on that car. Like you can walk up
the
and
old
do
clamshell.
Yeah, fantastic setup. So I'm really pumped about that car. Like
that's a cool car. Like I don't
so cool.
I know a lot of, it's funny, like it's a very divisive car. Like I know a lot of people that are like they suck to drive, other people are like they're good to drive, other people are like they're the best, other people are like they're trash. And I don't, heads or tails, it's such a moment in time and it's such a cool thing. It kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I don't think the ZR1's ever been critiqued for being a bad like sports car because I think they're pretty damn stellar. I think the C4 caught a lot of flack, and those early C4s were a little rough, but the C4 is actually maturing and actually getting the attention I think it's due.
It needs to, man.
It's fucking like, sweet. They look sweet, dude. Like just
8-year-old me thought it was the coolest car.
Yeah. Oh in the world. Dude. Yeah, the rear end is like it's unbelievable, and just the general like the silhouette of a C4 is just I think it's so cool. The interior is cool. It's like the interior is bad, but like 80s bad. Whereas the C5 was bad as in like Chevy fucking plastics bad.
I don't know. The whole concept of people bitching about a Corvette's interior is so played out for me.
Yeah.
Because the entire concept of a Corvette was that it's going to be the performance bargain that punches, at least starting with the C4 Corvette. Yeah, is that it's the performance bargain that punches 100% of its value over its weight, right?
I would say, yeah.
Like
You're
every
right.
time you look at a review of any Corvette that has ever been rolled out in the history of Corvettes, it has been the new Ferrari fighter, or like Lamborghini better look out, or like whatever. And so like you're gonna bitch about like plasticky controls and like rattles in the interior. Like, okay, you can do that, that's fine, but just know what position you're doing that from. And
Yeah.
I'm not even Corvette guy, but I deeply appreciate Corvettes and what they do. And so yeah.
Yeah, and this thing's got
got
a nuclear fucking power plant under the hood. The ZR1's something special, and I can't wait. I can't wait to ring it out. But last car on the list, forever car, my 92 Mitsubishi Galant VR4, stock, completely stock Belize green 92. I'm still contemplating, I still need to do some basic maintenance, obviously, to it. It's my forever car, so it's like so down the list.
Allegedly.
Done. Yeah. Oh no, I won't get rid of this one. It's really mint. But I kind of want to do sneaky mods, like a 16G hidden in there, some fuel upgrades and like suspension, just because that really wakes those things up. I'll be honest. When you put that in there, it really does. It's like a different class.
What do you feel is like an appropriate power level? 300?
Like 250 at the wheels. It's like,
yeah. So call it 300 crank.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. At least. Yeah. So yeah, that at that level, at Evo and STI level, it's just right. But it's seriously, that's a big difference over stock, and it keeps your stock drivability, which is at this age, I don't want something that's like super peaky and dyno queenish. I just want it to be like all around. I just want it to be like elevated from the factory condition. So
it's an elevation sensation.
Yeah, across the nation. With some menstruation. But that's all I got, man. Not to belabor these lists, but dude, we have a lot of work to do.
This is
we have a lot.
Meanwhile, at last week we were just talking about how we're cruising around Facebook marketplaces because we're awful human beings and we don't know when to say no, and
this is all true.
And autoholics, I don't know. It's a bad deal. Speaking of bad deals, I'm pretty confident you are going to try and kick me straight in the dick and or balls during this week's automotive print ad quiz game show. The name is still shitty.
No,
the game that we play is still great.
Truth.
I will explain it while you dial up something that you can try and ruin me with. Here's what happens. Chadwick, my friend, your friend, is going to pick an automotive print ad from the 80s, the 90s, up until the mid-2000s. He's going to read that advertisement. He's going to redact out anything that's super overly identifying, name of the make, the model, so I and you playing along at home can get it all sorted out and figure out what the make, model, and a ballpark year of this vehicle is. I get 3 guesses. I get 10 minutes when he's done reading it. I can ask and we'll get hints between any missed guess. I won't miss. Will you miss? Let's find out. I'm ready. Chadwick.
Let's do this, buddy.
We're on my way.
Single page spread for you, my friend. We have the vehicle. It's just about a side profile view of the passenger side, a little bit of angle, so you get a little bit of that front 3/4.
Angle of the dangle.
The car is in a red, and it looks like there's like a black sheet for the background. So very I don't know how do I
Pontiac.
Yeah. It's very Pontiac. It's very glamour shots, if you will. But the tagline at the bottom is "Looks aren't everything, but they're not nothing either," and that is just fucking poetry.
That's actually really good. I'm into it.
It's good. So the all new blank. Cross cosmetic surgery off of your to-do list. Driving the all new blank is the more stylish way to turn heads. Just go with it, dude.
Yes.
Embrace it.
Don't correct your face.
And considering how affordable it is, a lot less painful. 2.0 liter, 140 horsepower dock engine, dual overhead cam, if you will. We're just going to list some specs. Dual front and side airbags, ABS brakes with traction control, AM/FM stereo cassette, air conditioning, power windows, locks and mirrors, electric rear window defroster, 60/40 split folding roof seat, center storage console / armrest. It does it all. 15-inch, check yourself, sport wheel covers with Michelin tires.
Okay.
I can't read the warranty, but that's all I got. Fuck it.
Okay,
I'm
no,
setting
that's
it.
fine.
Let me put 10 minutes on the clock. You got the motor, and you got some really
Boy.
shitty standard features.
What's tricky is, okay, 2-liter, 140 horsepower. That's fairly ubiquitous.
Sure is.
What's really tricky is the concept of side impact airbags and featuring it having a cassette player. That is a moment in time, my friend.
It's a car lost in time, if you will.
and it's the all new blank.
Oh, the old one was a piece of shit compared to this.
Probably.
I don't know that. I'm just stating that.
Golly.
2-liter,
140 horsepower.
Yes.
That sounds like it could. Boy. It could be an NA4G63. It could be. I don't. It doesn't feel Honda.
Doesn't feel Honda.
Doesn't feel Honda.
I feel Honda.
With wheel covers.
This is a good one.
It didn't say transmission.
Did not.
I've got to guess, and I'm gonna go. No, I can't do that.
15s. 15.
It made me think Pontiac Sunfire. Sorry, yeah, Pontiac Sunfire. But if it was the Ecotech was like 150, 140, 150. I don't think it was a 2-liter. I want to say it was a 2.2 or then a 2.4. But I want to take a stab into the darkness. And I'm going to say this is a 1995. God, what was the first year of the Sunfire? 95 and 96. I want to say it's 95. But 96 is a very impactful year. I'm going to say it's a 1995 Pontiac Sunfire GT. No, because the GT would have been a quad 4. It would have been a 2.3. Pontiac Sunfire, final answer.
This is not the all new Pontiac Sunfire, Frank.
Okay.
The SE probably would have been.
Yeah, you're right. It would have been SE because the GT, yeah, as I said. Okay.
What can I do to sweeten this pot for you?
How about this? I guessed that it was a domestic manufacturer.
You did.
Is that correct or incorrect?
Incorrect, my friend.
Is that too much?
Yeah. Nope. We're going for it. You are not dealing with a domestic.
Okay.
It's a foreigner.
Import. It's an import. Oh boy. Okay. I feel like off the rip, I can eliminate the entire collection of Europe.
You should really, even your Volkswagen friends, because the wheel covers. That's what you're thinking. I get what you're thinking.
Yeah, but the 2-point slow never made 140 horsepower.
God damn, it didn't. 115, right?
Yeah, 115, and then everything else had turbonium, as they called it.
Mm-hmm.
So going to Japania, it wouldn't be a Celica or anything like that because the 5 SFE is a 2.2 liter, not a 2-liter. Unless it's not with that horsepower. Because even the RAV4 was a 2-liter, the 3 SFE, but that was 120 horsepower. This is not a RAV4 ad. It doesn't read like one, doesn't sound like one. Could it be a side impact airbags?
Yeah.
So it cannot be. Here's what always trips me up. Anytime that there's an ad where the ad only showcases the more basic model of a model that has a higher trim level with a superior drivetrain, right? This is not an Integra. While the horsepower is close, that would be a 1.8, and so then, well, maybe it's an RSX, but it wouldn't be with the KA20. A basic bitch RSX doesn't read like this ad. They wouldn't talk about wheel covers. That's not Acura. It's not an RSX. If I go to Honda, I cannot get the Honda because Accords were different. Were 2.2s or 2.3s or 2.4s. Mazda with like an early Mazda 3, because here's the thing, it's got to have cassette and it's got to have. What's my time, by the way? It's got to have cassette. It's got to have side impact.
You have about 4 minutes, and I think that's like one of the interesting things about this ad.
Right. So this is
like crazy.
2000s. This is early 2000s in my mind. Well, here's the anything that's wearing wheel covers and also carries side impact airbags.
They stated affordable quite a few times in here.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Which, I mean, that's what wheel covers tell you. Sporty wheel covers.
Michelin tires, though. So
sure.
Money well spent.
Michelin.
Golly.
Could this? I'm going to take another stab in the dark.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this is a 2001. Oh, I just had an idea.
The invasive thoughts of one.
I'm going to stick to my original plan because my idea I don't think tracks quite right. I'm going to say this is a 2001 Los Tiburones. This is a 2001 Hyundai Tiburon.
Ooh.
Wild card pull. 2001 Hyundai Tiburon.
We are not talking about the Hyundai Shark or the Tuscany, if you will.
Los Tiburones.
Very cool car. I actually like those. The early ones were so ugly. They were cool. We're not talking about the Hyundai Tiburon.
Okay.
But for you want a mega hint? Because you have.
Yeah.
You have the make. You have the OEM.
Okay.
And they probably stuck that engine in a Tuscany or Tibi, if you will.
They did it because they had a 2-liter and a 2.4. And then, well, depending if 2001 was the last couple of years of the first gen, and then it went to the second gen,
which is a good looking car, actually. The GT V6s, I like those things.
You can get the 2.7 V6. It is it the 2.7 V6? Yeah.
Have you had a stroke?
I'm going to say
your screen froze for like 5 minutes.
Five whole minutes.
The game is over. Like we've gone home for the day.
No, let it go. Let's go home. But no, I had a blip. But I didn't have a blip. But you can hear me now, right?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good.
But I'm here. Okay, I'm present.
Yeah, you're slightly pixelated, but better than not.
I'm gonna say this is a. It's okay. I just got bukkake upon, and it was the pixelization Japanese.
The DSL is not working anymore, man.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about them dicks.
No, yeah, I know. I mean, they are. I do have exactly. I just threw rock DSLs. I'm going to say in a Hail Mary, this is going to be a 2003 Hyundai Elantra GT. Final answer.
I'm going to give it to you. The Elantra GT had I think it had more power, to tell you the truth, because they tweaked the engine or something. I remember that.
Than the 140?
Yeah.
I thought you just got the hatchback and leather and like tighter suspension, but it was the same.
I think they tweaked
What is it though?
You are right. It is a 2001, so a little before Elantra. Just a base model Elantra, my friend. Can I just say I'm shocked that they had a 2-liter dual overhead cam 140 horsepower in this engine, in this car? I'm shocked. I'm surprised it's not like 105 horsepower.
I think that's the
junk.
same. I think, you know what? I think that's the same. I really do think it is the same power as the GT, which whatever immaterial. But what I'm saying is like, I kind of thought those were like a good buy for a minute because you can get them with a manual leather 4-door hatch for like no money, for effectively $0.
So a guy
But
I
yeah.
know in back in the old army days bought one, and I remember him telling everyone this is a luxury car because it has leather.
It's
And
got leather. That
Not
was
a
a sign of
luxury.
leather back in the day.
Holy
Leather
shit!
was a sign of luxury.
They had less horsepower, 135. Must be the SAE up to their no good.
Yeah, because what that I think that hit in 2003, right?
Yeah, it did. So it came a little
The
later.
SAE switch.
That is hilarious. Yeah.
Or maybe it was 04. Immaterial. Yes.
03. Yep. Good job. You got there, my friend.
I got there adjacent.
Teamwork makes the dream work. But yeah, Hyundai Elantra.
All right, there we go. The Elantra. And now
it has 440 ponies. That was pretty impressive. Those are some SR20 stats over a decade later. I like it.
Way less of a lively motor, though.
Yeah, way less.
Way like super angry and thrashy and super upset at you at all times.
Yeah. All right, let's
should we celebrate?
Let's celebrate with some very fast rapid fire.
I've already done it. Like we've talked about the fleets.
This is true.
Already discussed how much car progress I'm not making or am making or whatever. What else? Yeah, that's all I got. Well, how about you?
I'm with you. I did have to do some work on the G20. I didn't mention the brake lines, which is kind of a funny
story. Yes, I was there.
Frank and I went to shoot the car, and I was like, "Wow, the brake pedal feels like shit." And there's some fluid coming out of the car, which is weird because it doesn't leak anything. Like a couple pinhole tears, like probably just from age, right? In the passenger side brake. Yeah. So all your photos I didn't use because the car looked like it was saturated with oil, but it was all the brake fluid spraying the whole inside of the wheel well and everything. So I had to clean all that up, obviously. But I replaced that brake line. I shit you not. You have to obviously go around and bleed all the calipers. I go to just give it a couple firm brake presses. Pop. The driver one completely banana peels. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, thank God I didn't do this during my review, right? Like, that's the worst case scenario in the canyons and just a hard braking scenario and your brake line goes and you have nothing. So 2 fresh brake lines and the brake fluid is clear as water in the reservoir. So that's a bonus. Whoever gets the car doesn't have to worry about that. But that was my PCP. You got to love when stuff like that happens. So
yeah, it's funny. Like the amount of times where I take a car out on a photo shoot or something to get it ready for sale. And then something happens and they come back and like, hey man, do you realize your car's doing this, 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 and this? And they're like, no. I'm like, yeah, like I almost died several times. Like I limped it back here and like, oh my God. I'm like, you have to fix this. This is not my responsibility. I took pictures. I'm going to send you the pictures. I'm begging you to take care of this. Like this is not my position to call you out on your bullshit, but just like make this not be fucked.
Yeah, kind of like that guy that let me review that S4 and I got to the exit from his house and the horrible noise that we heard, which we definitely thought was a bearing of a tensioner going, went.
Guess
and
what it was?
The noise went away and the battery light came on. So I kind of feel like the alternator belt wasn't there. So I got it back to your place. Kind of like
that. But guess what car has not seen the light of day since?
It wasn't my fault. It was more than just that belt.
I heard one like cruising around yesterday. Obviously manual by the way it was driving with exhaust, just cruising. Sounded so good.
They're not
one day those cars.
I want to review it because it's something I'll never own. I want to review it so bad, Frank. Because it's
I know. I want one too.
I
want a wagon. You can get them in a wagon. Yeah. They understeer, but you can work around it, and they're fun and they sound good. Anyways,
look great.
Welcome. Thank you for coming to my B6 S4 TED Talk. Thank you for getting it right there, Sir Chadwick, on the quiz, and thank you, dear listener, for playing along at home and for putting up with our nonsense. Do all of the review things. I'm not going to tell you where to listen to us because you're already listening to us, but on whatever thing you're listening to us upon, apparently there's algorithmic reasons that you should listen, like just go ahead and put a review in there. So do that.
Yes.
Nobody cares about following me, but if you really want to, I'm the Photographer's Garage on things. How about you?
Same. Just Auto Obsessive Garage. Whatever.
Yes, whatever. You already know we're 130 something episodes in. You've heard this, but tune in next week for more nonsense, and maybe less clothes. And yeah, tell your friends. And thanks for putting up with our nonsense.
Yeah, as always, guys, thank you and take care, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Toodaloo.
Peace.